Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really happy to have you here with us. We've got a really fun show today where we're going to be talking about a part of your life that you may or may not have success in, but we want to encourage you to have massive success in. Cindy, today we're going to be talking about dating and finding love. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the world definitely needs to have more love. So I am so thrilled to have our guest on today so she can share her words of wisdom.
Absolutely. This is a topic that is always very popular for a really fantastic set of reasons. Number one, it's something people really want. They want to find love. They want to have love in their lives. And so anytime that you can get some kind of education in it from an expert, just pays massive dividends. If nothing else, it will help you to circumnavigate this massive globe of possibilities, because there are, 7 billion people on the planet to choose from. So it really helps to get some guidance, some direction about love, dating advice, all those fun things.
Well, and in a country where most of us are past our first marriage,
yes,
we can use all the help we can get to make better selections.
Yeah, our guest today is actually going to be focusing a lot of information today about dating, say, over 50, kind of when you're in the second act or even the third act of your dating life. And the thing that I will say right now is that if you're under 50, you still probably want to stay tuned in, because there's tons of great advice for you as well, because love is truly universal and the laws of dating are universal as well, even though there's some really new and interesting challenges for everyone who's in the dating world and who's looking for love, specifically because it's 2019, technology's changed, the way people interact has changed, there's a lot of new things happening, but the major concepts are universal.
Well, and I'll just bet that some of the information we're going to get today would definitely have benefited all of us who are over the age of 50 when we were in our 20s and 30s, and we may still be on the first marriage.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're in the first marriage, you're happy, you'd like to stay that way, definitely stay tuned. One other thing I want to mention is that if you would like to do what we're doing today, which is asking Maria a few questions that we actually got from listeners, you can go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can find some of the old and past episodes that we have created. And there's a box there on the top of the page where you can submit your own questions for people who are on our upcoming shows, and we would be glad to ask them and to include you in part of the show. Today, we want to thank Dwayne Valenzuela, who is one of the partial sponsors of the show, and thank you for sending in a question and for listening and for always being a great supporter. Thanks a lot, Dwayne. We really appreciate it. So without further ado, we want to go ahead and introduce Maria Romano. Maria, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited to be here and sharing in this. This is really exciting for me. Gosh, to be on the show and to talk about love.
Yeah, not only your most favorite topic, but a topic that always garners a lot of attention and always makes for interesting conversation. Maria, you actually have a really cool background that I want to get into a little bit later. You live in Las Vegas, and you're a dating coach and a licensed minister. Exactly how many marriages have you performed?
I was trying to tally that up one day. It was interesting. But last year I did 573 ceremonies, and I've been doing this for about 10 years. So I have probably averaged at least 2,500 weddings.
Wow.
And you know, when you're part of somebody's special day, I mean, it's one of the highlights of their life. It's really important and something that I cherish because I want to make sure that I'm making it not just something that is memorable, but it's something that they definitely can. There's something that I want to be able to share with them that they always remember, because I've always felt that as you're performing a ceremony, what you say can resonate with somebody and their guest for the rest of their life.
So true. Some of the most profound things that I've heard have come at weddings. And obviously, when you're sitting there in the audience and you're listening, you're already in a very emotional state, especially when you know the people, they're friends of yours, they're coming together. They're experiencing this beautiful moment. There's a lot of love everywhere around. There's a lot of just ideas and feelings about commitment and what it's going to be like to live together and to work together and to create something beautiful together. And yes, when someone then also just delivers something that really touches your soul, it just has an amazing long-term impact.
You know, it really is kind of a foundational proclamation when you're sharing it with not only your loved one, but all those in attendance.
That's true. You know, Cindy, you're right, because when you think about it, there are times when you might have somebody in the audience that their marriage could be a little iffy, and what you say, right, might just recalibrate everything for them. Or the couple that you're marrying might be going through some rocky roads in their relationship. And I tell them to think back to this day. Whenever you come to a point in life where you really need to soul search and you have your challenges before you. And when you go back to that day, it changes everything. So I like that. It is a proclamation.
I love that. You know, that starting moment in that moment is just so powerful, and it has so much emotion built around it that, you know what, I have you tell me, does that have the ability to kind of dissolve some of these major conflicts just by changing the feelings between two people?
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, think about it in your own personal relationship, that once you take a moment and you pause and you think back to the reasons of why you fell in love with somebody. If you take that time, you can actually go back and sometimes resolve whatever really lies before you. So definitely it does, you know, it does make a big difference, which is why I still like being in the love business. And that's why now I like to coach people.
Yes. Well, what's interesting is I didn't realize that some of the things I use in my coaching practice really kind of relates to the marriage business, in that, you know, I always remind people that you have to remember who you are through your accomplishments and through, you know, who you are. And so many times people, you know, lose sight of that. And I think it's true in marriages too. In marriages, sometimes people forget what they've accomplished in their marriage and, you know, who they are as a couple.
You know, that's interesting that you bring that up, Cindy, because that is true. You are a couple, but also you can't lose sight of the fact that you are an individual.
Yes.
And that's what attracted you to each other, the uniqueness about each one of you, and nobody has the same DNA. So it's important that you, as a couple, that you are working, living, and loving together, but also not to lose your own identity. And that can happen sometimes. And that's where sometimes that breakdown occurs. So you want to be able to make sure that, you still want to be yourself and to do things that you like to do. And, your spouse, your partner might not like to do it, and that's okay. Because when you come back and share the experience with each other, even though you didn't do it together, what happens is your friendship grows, your love deepens, but you enhance the trust that you have for each other.
Boy, that's the name of the game in a marriage. If you lose the trust, you're in trouble.
Maria, I want to just let everyone know that if they want to see your website, they can go to loveknotslv.com. Love, L-O-V-E, knots, K-N-O-T-S-L-V, like Las Vegas.com. It's where you can see some of the beautiful imagery that she has, some amazing photos, but also learn more about what she does as a dating coach. Maria, I know that you work primarily with people right now, at least who are 50 and over. What's some of the biggest challenges for dating once you've reached that part of your life?
Okay, so I work with men and women, and because we all need a little hand-holding at this stage in life. We're part of the baby boomer generation. And for most of us, just, like myself, I was out of the dating mix. And most of the clients too that I did were out of the dating mix for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, maybe. And I know people 50 years or longer. And
wow.
It can be, think about it. So think about saying, okay, I think I want to go on to the next chapter of my life and I'd like to find somebody. And all of a sudden this boomer adolescence sinks in. You don't know what to do. And you really don't. I mean, how do you flirt again? How do you take that first step? And, thinking about meeting somebody, kissing somebody, being intimate, gosh, and it can be overwhelming. And the biggest challenge too for my clients is to understand that, first of all, number one, we are in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. We're not who we were at 20 and 30. And kind of frankly, even though I don't look the same way, we don't look the same way, I'm kind of glad that I have the maturity that I have going forward. And most of my clients feel the same way too. So the challenge for them too is taking the first step, because most people, men and women, are vulnerable. And when you are vulnerable, you got to have the courage to get out there and to be able to take that first step, whether you decide to try to meet love online or offline. It's a big step.
Well, you bring up the whole technical age that we're in, and I'm sure that your clients are thrilled for you to do the hand-holding through this whole electronic age of social media and internet. And oh my gosh, just talking about it makes me kind of crazy.
It's, that when you think about it, it's overwhelming. And you get so much advice sometimes. You have friends and family that come to you and give you this advice, but, quite frankly, they've been married, some of them, for many, many years. So it's kind of hard to give somebody advice today in the dating world and in the dating mix.
Absolutely. And so what we want to do is we want to take a moment just to thank you for listening. We're going to come back in the next segment when we bring Maria Romano back from loveknotslv.com. We're going to be talking about how technology is affecting dating for people over 50. So you're going to want to stay tuned, because we're going to jump right in. That's a big topic. And if you'd like for us to ask our next guest questions, please go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can hear previous episodes, as well as list your own questions for us to ask our guests. So please stay tuned. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals, so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hyde's life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking. Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hyde can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com. Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're so glad you could continue joining us. Our guest today is Maria Romano from loveknotslv.com. In our previous segment, we were talking about some of the most difficult parts of dating over 50, which included the idea of vulnerability and how vulnerable people are and how long they've been out of the game. Maria, over time, for a lot of people who've been out of the game literally for decades, now they're showing up in the dating world again. They're encountering the internet, they're encountering dating apps, dating services, and it may seem overwhelming. Tell us a little bit about how you help people overcome those major challenges.
Well, you're right. There are so many different platforms in order to meet people today, and we didn't have that to us years ago. But what's really great about the platform is this is how my friend explained it to me. She said, would you send your resume to one company? And I said, of course not, if I was looking for a position. She said, I rest my case. So where you have these different platforms, you should put yourself out there online as well as what I call offline, maybe going to different meetup groups or different maybe functions or church, religious organizations, wherever you like to go, whatever your interests are, where you can meet people. But it can be very daunting because, let's face it, if you're going to set up a profile, you have to take pictures and you have to write something. No, some people don't like talking about themselves, but it's really important when you take the first step, whether you're going to meet somebody online or offline, that you have that elevator pitch. And I don't mean that it has to be something rehearsed, but if somebody would ask about you, you're meeting somebody in a situation where you meet somebody and you're talking to them, you just always want to be prepared.
Maria, do you help people in your coaching practice with all the things you just mentioned, with the online, the offline, the meetups, and where they should be putting themselves out there if they're unclear?
Yes, and that's what I do. We start off with the first step is we start off really doing some soul searching, because you have to be ready to want to find love again. And sometimes you have to, I tell people you need to be yourself. And what I mean by that is yes, you think we are yourselves, but we are residuals, Cindy, from whatever has happened in our past relationships in our lives. We have these residual effects. So it's important to make sure that you are ready to take that first step. I mean, I meet a lot of people that are just coming off a divorce. A client of mine, a gentleman, he said to me, he goes, I want to put myself out there, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid, like, if I'm with somebody and I snore, I says, well, you got a little ways to go before we get to that step. let's learn how to walk besides running, right?
Well, it's all about their priorities, I guess. But
are even vulnerable. I mean, about that, right? Think about it. So what I like to do is, and that's the difference, I think, between the boomer generation and, of course, your younger generation is we need people out there like myself that are helping people, and you really kind of have to hold their hand. And you don't necessarily want to go to your best friend and say, hey, listen, I need some advice, because they might not be able to give you the right advice. so that you can go to somebody and say, I'm getting ready for a first date. What do I do? What do I say? What do I wear? And I'm willing to do that with my clients. And if a client needs me to help them with finding a restaurant, even a restaurant or flowers or whatever it is, yes, because I want to get them through the first few steps. I don't want to say, okay, here, I've armed you with all this. I taught you how to put yourself online, what to say. I want to be there to help them be successful, because we all want to live happily ever after.
Yes. Now, some of the people out there, especially baby boomers, are not very technically sound. Do you help them set up their profiles, and do you help them with the verbiage?
I do. I have somebody that does help me with that. That helps you with putting your profile together. But I really want the client to take the time to think about them and what they want to enhance about themselves. You know, what happens is if you look at some of these profiles, right away people will start off with what they don't want in a relationship. And it's important to start off with the positive. And the thing is, if you use some of the people to write your profile that's actual one of the experts online, they're taking quite a bit of information that they've used for other profiles. So you sort of see the same things, like I'm looking for my last first kiss, okay, that's
Right.
fine. I want my first, I don't want it to be my last kiss, but that's okay. But you want something that's really more authentic. So when you know somebody and you take the time to put together 3 or 4 paragraphs about themselves, and just, that they want to share their life with somebody. Maybe they want a long-term relationship. Maybe they just want somebody to date, or they're looking for marriage. Whatever it is, you want to be able to enhance them and bring that out on the profile so that they're attracting the right individual, because it's all based upon the algorithms too. The algorithms will try to match you up with somebody that has similar interest.
Well, and if it's not heartfelt, then I think that will come across in the written word a lot, even more quickly than in person.
Yes, and that is true. You can tell when something has basically been canned and put together.
Yes.
And you can also tell, there's the other side to this too. When somebody's been hurt in a past relationship, they go on and on.
Screaming, yes. I was just going to say, when you said that they had, things in their past, I was thinking emotional baggage.
Yes.
I call that residuals. They're not the good residuals. That's right.
Yeah, you cleaned that up pretty well, but I got to tell you, I see a lot of that in my client base.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. And I'm sure, what we both do more or less crosses over, but, and love is an important part of life. I mean, let's face it. When you're in love, you're happy, you live longer, you're healthier, you feel better about things. There's nothing better than being in love when you have the butterflies in your stomach. I know, I love it.
Well, the endorphins really make a nice difference.
They do, and they keep you feeling youthful.
Yes.
And no matter what age you are. And and I like to always work on my clients that really when they work on their souls, their inner soul, and what they actually, project. And we hear about this a lot today, and we all know that really how you project yourself, what you're sending out, the type of energy attracts the type of people that you want to be around.
Yes. People underestimate that for sure.
And that's why it's so important to also be authentic in your communication when you're creating that bio or writing those paragraphs. You don't want to sound like one thing, and then when someone meets you in person, you're completely different. You don't want to say, "Oh, I love to hike and love to do all this stuff," and then you show up, you can barely walk. Like, that's not.
That has happened. That has happened to me. I will say that.
I'm sure.
Oh yes. When you find out, if you don't read a profile properly, you would be surprised what you find out about a person. And I'm guilty of that. And believe me, I have been through it. I mean, I know I didn't read somebody's profile properly. When he showed up and wondering what he's done for the first part of his life, he was in jail, not for 1 decade, but let's talk about 2 decades.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
You really have to, yeah, it's true. But there's another side. You said something about being authentic with your profile. And also, what's authentic is, besides being yourself, loving yourself and rocking yourself, let's talk about the visual side, the picture side. If I see one more picture with somebody taking a picture of them selfie in the bathroom with the man doing that, please, guys, stop it.
The shirtless picture in the bathroom with the iPhone. Is
Oh
that what
my
you're talking about?
God.
And even in their boxers, please. It's like,
Well,
okay.
I think that's a good thing, though, because they're sending their message.
Yeah,
Well,
I think some people really they are looking for love, and I just feel they might be misguided and misdirected, and that's what happens. And the same thing occurs with women as well. They put these sexy profile pictures up and the cleavage and the hair, and it's the selfie.
Photos, yes.
Well, the part that I am concerned about, even in our business platforms, is when people put a picture of themselves 20 or 30 years younger.
Yeah, well, that's always, you can see that. You can definitely see when a picture definitely has been dated. And a lot of people will add in their profile, please, I would like to see current pictures. That's the key thing, is this is where some of the vulnerability side comes in, because some people, they still have this visual of how they looked 20 and 30 years ago. And yes, as we get older, gravity does set in. I know that. And no matter how hard we take care of ourselves, we're not going to look like we're 20 or 30 or 40. I mean, we are in our 50s, 60s, and 70s. I'm not going to go look for that John, Cena type of personality, or, George Clooney look, or somebody's not out there looking for Jennifer Lopez, but you have to be realistic. And even no matter what size you are, okay, no matter what age you are, if the picture you're posting is a picture of you looking happy and healthy, no matter what, and you should wear some flattering colors or clothes, whatever it is, and you should just maybe show yourself being a little active. And that's what I tell clients. You only take pictures of yourself, not of your family, your friends, your dogs, you. That's all it should be.
Yeah, I see a lot of these pictures on these online dating sites. Definitely people are trying to enhance their image with a really cute dog, hoping that there's like some emotional transference between the cute dog and them. When somebody sees the picture, oh, the dog is so cute.
So what are you doing online,
right?
Thomas? Thomas, what are you doing
I have to
online?
do research for this show today. What are you talking about?
And Thomas also sings. You forget that he's a classically trained opera singer. So
yeah. I had to check this stuff out, in order to do this today.
And again, I just think, sometimes we're just misguided, and that's the key thing. And it's a matter of just, you want to, at this stage in life, the second act, you want to attract somebody that's a quality person that's perfect for you.
The perfect person for you. When we come back, that's what we're going to talk about in the next segment with Maria Romano from loveknotslv.com. She's a dating coach and minister of love. Do stay tuned to the Imagine More Success radio show.
Path Home Shamanic Art School proudly presents the Gathering of Shaman 2019 Fall Retreat, Manifestation Samhain. Join me, certified shamanic instructor Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magnificent Colorado Mountains this November 2nd and 3rd for a life-changing event. Participate in unique teachings and ceremonies that'll put the power and magic of shamanic manifestation into your hands. Sit in circle with like-minded individuals, sharing group energy and the power it generates. Classes will be held in a facility next to the beautiful, majestic Arkansas River, further empowering the experience. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today. For more information, visit findyourpathhome.com or email touchin@findyourpathhome.com.
How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hides' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're on today with Maria Romano from loveknotslv.com. She's a dating coach and minister of love out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And she's been telling us some really wonderful things about the challenges of dating over 50. In the previous segment, we were talking about how to utilize some of the technology and some of the pitfalls of utilizing technology and some tips on how you can actually use technology to your advantage to really put the authentic you out there so that you can find someone who's really wonderful for you. And at the very end of the last segment, Maria, you said you can help someone find the perfect person for them. And that really piqued my interest. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I can't promise that you'll find the perfect person, but what I can promise you that I'm going to share with you some tips, hopefully, on this segment, that you'll know how you can find the perfect person. And that's what it takes. That's right, for you.
So listen up. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel like most people are actually looking for a perfect person. There's like kind of this big pendulum. And on one side, someone's searching for the perfect person. And then someone else is searching for someone basically with a pulse who's breathing. But, and I've seen both of these, but I know that what you really specialize in is finding someone that really you can deeply connect with. What's your methodology for that?
Well, I do. I have this 3-part method that I start with. And what I'd like to put people through the process is you need to be yourself, you need to love yourself, and you need to rock yourself.
Be yourself, love yourself, rock yourself. Well, that is certainly memorable.
It's important.
So talk to me a little bit about be yourself.
Well, when we were talking in the beginning, as what I'd like to have clients do is I really like to have them to be themselves. And we talked about this is, we've spent most of our lives, because we're in our 50s, right? We've lived more life than we're going to live. How are we going to live out the rest of our life? And most of us, we're somebody's mother, somebody's father, daughter, son, somebody's business partner. So sometimes we have shed that. We need to shed that to really look into our authentic self and to kind of really, like I said, get naked and find out who you are, what makes you tick, and are you ready to find love? And that's the key thing, is you have to be ready. And that's why you have to sometimes get rid of, we talked about either excess baggage. I like to call it dysfunctional detoxing, because when you walk into, right, but it's true, you don't want to walk into the next relationship talking about how bad your last relationship was. And but it happens. You'd be surprised how many people do that. So you really need to take the time and do some soul searching on that. And if you have a lot of deep-rooted emotions, this is what I tell my clients, then go find somebody first that can help you get through you, that somebody that might be a therapist or a psychologist, because you really, on this last juncture, this second act, you really want to be ready. You want to be able to enjoy somebody and give them the best of you, as well as you want the best from them. So you need to start with being yourself.
Well, and here's the bottom line to that one. If they don't walk in being themselves and having the excess baggage gone, they are going to wait a long time to get that marriage proposal.
Right. And that's true. And what it is, there's nothing wrong with every relationship. Definitely is a life lesson, and there's always a takeaway. And the thing is you need to be able to understand what the takeaway was. As I had a client that is married, he's married 28 years, and all he talked about was how bad the relationship was from his spouse's side. And my question to him was, okay, so what did you contribute? You really have to think about, you can't just say it's always the other. We know there's your side, their side, the right, and of course the real side. And that's what it takes.
Well, that is very profound, Maria. Life lesson and takeaway from your relationships.
Yes. So the first part, you talk about being yourself, then you talk about loving yourself. And when clients come to you, is that something that they're usually in the space to do? Are they usually ready to just love and accept themselves right away?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about, some people are pretty conceited. I mean, they look in the mirror and say, damn, I look good.
And they're the ones with the selfies in the bathroom mirror?
Gosh, yes. And, that's, when you really think about it, it sounds easy, right? Loving yourself. You figure you get to a certain age in life and you start to be yourself, and you think, it's not easy always to love yourself. And we self-sabotage ourselves. We find everything that we can sometimes that's wrong about us. Just think about when somebody gives you a compliment and right away you say, yes, but blah, blah, blah. Forget about that. Okay, you really need to love yourself. And what I call this is, you have to Photoshop yourself. And I don't mean Photoshop yourself in photos. You just need to work on what qualities you have that really stand out and that are unique. And when you do that, you can ask your friends, your family, hey, what's the 3 or 4 things that you like about me? Like if I look at Thomas, I know Thomas, and he's a big teddy bear. His personality shines that way. So that's what you need to work on. Of course, you want to physically make sure you're healthy, but also if you work on that inner part, it's so important to love yourself, because as you get out into the dating arena, it's not easy. You're vulnerable. You're going to get shot down. I can't begin to tell you how many times I came home from a date and I cried. I literally bawled because somebody would say to me, you look pretty good for your age, but really your number is just too much for me. I have to have somebody that's a younger number. Do you know how that just crushes you?
You should be glad I wasn't standing there next to you, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of people are necessarily ready to encounter that type of experience when they're dating. They assume that everyone is kind of treating other people with kid gloves or being nice or whatever. And from what I understand, it's not always nicey-nicey, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. You know what? I have to tell you, there were times, my ego was crushed. Just crushed. And what I did, and this is what I like to share with some of my clients, is I would go to YouTube and I would find the best commencement speeches, because the best commencement speeches are by people that are my age, talking to young people and telling them to feel good.
Amazing.
That's what I did. And do you know what? That made a big difference. It lifted my spirits. And then I would turn on whatever music I liked and I would just dance around the house, and that lifted my spirits. But it took a long time. And that's one of the things that happens in this journey is you have to be ready, because it could be a fun experience, but also on the other side you have to wear your armor as well. And I like to give my clients the armor. I want to be there for them when something does happen and they are devastated, because again they're putting themselves out there and it's scary sometimes.
And this is what I would say as well. So that kind of component of how much of yourself to completely reveal and to show the authentic you versus the armoring that you need in order to not allow people's comments or their actions to be taken so personally is kind of what takes us to the next part, which is to rock yourself. And exactly what does it mean to rock yourself? It sounds awesome,
I know.
What does that mean?
You
Tell
want
me.
to walk in and strut your feathers, right? Walking like a peacock. But really, that's what you want to be able to project. You're not an age. You're not a size. Okay, you are a person. You are an authentic, beautiful person. And when you start rocking yourself, and really when you take, because you've done the first 2 steps, you work on you, you love you, and you enjoy being in your own skin. And that's the key thing, is you have to enjoy being in your own skin. If you anybody watched the movie I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer, and she falls off the cycle in class, she bumps her head, she's an overweight girl, and all of a sudden she wakes up and she thinks she's a supermodel. She didn't change with the way she looked or her size. It was all in her attitude. And when you change your attitude, that makes a difference, because then what happens on the other side is you're attracting somebody that might be perfect for you. And that's what you need to be able to do, is you need to then develop, when you develop that aura, then you're attracting the right person that you want in your life. And there's the other side to this, is when you start attracting people, we have a tendency of stockpiling, because we think that we want to be with somebody that's tall, dark, and handsome, or the blonde bombshell. And we really need to get out of our comfort zone, because that's where the internet has opened up our world. And I tell my clients that. So when you're ready and you've gone through these 3 steps and you're ready now to go out, you want to attract the right person, the internet is a great platform. You might meet somebody that lives on the other side of town that you would have never crossed their paths, or the other side of the country. And the internet's opened the world where you can date somebody. You have different races, different religions, different cultures. You can come together and blend those. You can even maybe blend your political preference. It's up to you.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Man, that's got to be the most polarizing thing. But if you say it's possible, I believe you.
How many profiles will start out with that? And I cringe and I say, oh, because you know what? When you develop a healthy relationship with somebody, and you can have a good, healthy banter in forensics, it doesn't matter what your differences are. And it doesn't necessarily have to be political. It could be other differences as well. But when you learn to respect each other and give each other that opportunity to share what they want to feel, and give them that platform, anything is possible. It doesn't say that you still can't be in love and rock somebody's world.
I love it. So from Maria Romano, we've heard be yourself, love yourself, rock yourself, so that you can find the perfect person for you. Stop looking for the perfect person and find the perfect person for you. We actually absolutely love that. You can find Maria at loveknotslv.com. And like we said in the earlier segment, if you want to send us a question for our next guest, go to imaginemoresuccess.net. And you can also listen to past episodes there. We want you to stick around, because we're going to come back with Maria in just a moment. And I know that we are going to have to talk about the whole topic of how you're going to find someone that is perfect for you. Please stay tuned.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hyde's life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking. Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hyde can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We've been talking today with Maria Romano from loveknotslv.com. She's a dating coach and minister of love in Las Vegas. She's performed over 2,500 wedding ceremonies and has seen love and has studied it and is an expert on the topic of dating if you're over 50. And Maria, earlier we were talking about it's even possible to maybe find someone who is of a completely different political association than you, and you can still be in love with them.
One could hope, right?
I guess world peace is possible. If that can happen, anything can happen. I love it. So earlier in the segment, we had a question that was sent to us from Dwayne Valenzuela, and his question is, when do you think you should be intimate once you begin dating and you're over 50? How can you tell when it's time to be intimate?
Well, that's an interesting question, an interesting topic of conversation. But first of all, Dwayne, I want to just say to you, when you decide to be intimate, please practice safe sex. And we baby boomers have the highest STD rates in this country, at least. Okay, and that's important. So whatever you're going to do, please practice safe sex. And I think that when you decide that you're going to have intimacy, it's totally up to you. There's no answer if it's the first, well, it shouldn't be, I don't think it should be the first date. You want to get to know somebody. And then when you feel you're comfortable, it could be the fourth date, fifth date, could be the 10th date. It doesn't matter. You take that step. And that's when you'll know if you're going to seal the deal with somebody, because you've got to know them. You spend time with them, and now you're being intimate with them. And also, when you're intimate with them, remember, sometimes the first time is not always the best time. The best time. So always give it a second chance.
Oh, Maria, I love that.
Sounds like great advice.
Yeah, I think that's amazing advice. And that's, again, advice. I don't think that just applies just to people over 50. I think that's really some really great universal advice.
Well, let's face it. Yeah. But really, when you think about it, we are older. Some of us are on different medications, and you have to just be patient. But it doesn't mean you can't have a great intimacy with somebody.
Beautiful. Do you find that's kind of a question that comes up with your clients quite often?
Yes, I do. I do. And, I want them to be comfortable. I'm not going to tell them, what's going to be perfect for them in the bedroom, but I just want them to know that, the other person, whoever they're with, we all have our anxieties and fears. I don't care who you are. And again, we're going back to, we don't look the same way we did, but that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't feel good when you're with somebody.
You know, Maria, that is something that we actually have talked about before, and I wanted you to talk to that. That idea of baby boomers in particular don't really feel old yet. People over 50 still feel like they're young people. And I don't know that that's always been the case, but it seems really prevalent today. Is that what you're finding?
Absolutely. Listen, think of my grandparents. They were older. They looked like grandparents. Listen, I'm a grandparent. I'm a grandparent 14 times over, and I'm a great grandparent. I don't feel it.
Well, don't
Right.
they say 50 is the new 40 or the new 30 or something?
You know
50's a
what?
new 20. What are you
I
talking about?
I got to tell you, it really, I don't mind my age. I love my age, and I think that, and I love my wrinkles, and everything, and my gray hairs that I've earned, even though I covered them. But the point is, I've earned those, and that's made me who I am today.
Well, to be honest, I don't mind covering all that stuff.
You know, that's another thing too that I know a lot of people who are getting back into dating. It's kind of like trying to. Sometimes what I see is they'll take, if they haven't dated since the 70s, it's like trying to take a car that's been sitting in a garage since the 70s and put it on the racetrack. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You're going to blow the engine. Something's going to happen. You really have to kind of work your way into it. You really need a process. And I know that you have a process that you walk people through. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, what I offer is called a hybrid workshop. So you do not have to be in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And
But it's a
right,
good reason to be if you want
it's
to.
a good reason if you want to be. But yes, but I would, I'd like to invite people from all over, because there are a lot of people that are my age, just like me, out there that are looking to find love again, and they really want to be able to turn to somebody that understands them. And it's a 4-week process. It is a 1-week Zoom video call where everybody will call in, and it's on the second Tuesday of every month it starts. And there's some homework that you do have. I do send you some homework to fill out. We start off with a personal telephone call. I usually like to schedule 15 minutes with the client. And then at the end of that, I help them through the course of the 4 weeks, of course, thinking about what they want, what they're looking for, setting up their profile, getting comfortable with that. And then if they have a first date, I will then set up a personal coaching call with them. So my course is 4 weeks. It's the 1-hour online Zoom video meeting, which they would get a recording of if they're not there. And then they have 2 coaching calls with me. And then, of course, I have other coaching calls that are available afterwards. And I want to stress, I want to be there for my clients. I want them to go out in the dating world and find somebody, but I also want them to know that I'm there in case they need any advice, because I know how I felt and how lonely it can be. And it's important that they know they have a friend here to help them.
And a friend who's an expert. And that is really, I mean, the level of commitment and the level of advice and that you're able to offer to the clients is really, really incredible. And she has tons of testimonials to attest to that. And I've heard this. And one of the things that I want to say is that, Maria, I know that you personally have had the experience of being married a very long time, and then you lost your husband. And, of course, over time, it was time to kind of go back into the dating world. Tell us a little bit about that, because so many people experience that.
Well, sure. I was married 33 years, and that, I thought I was going to live happily ever after. And, I'll never forget it. I was laying in bed and realizing I went from a Mrs. to a Miss, and it's really tough. But I do have to tell you, my late husband gave me a gift. And the gift is he was 15 years a heart transplant recipient. So we were always on borrowed time. And the last time he went in the hospital, he had said to me, and he said, "Maria, I'm not coming out." And I know it. And you really think you're prepared for it, but you're never prepared. But he said to me, there's 3 things. He said, "I want you not to worry about the kids. I want you to finish the book that I've written." He had 2 chapters left, and I did. And he said, "And if you find love again, that SOB better love you as much as I do and live happily ever after."
How beautiful.
Wow.
And that's the gift. And when you have that gift and you go forward to the next chapter of your life, and even if your relationship didn't end the way mine ended, even if it's a divorce. You want to make that next chapter happily ever after.
That's beautiful. It's an amazing gift that you're talking about. And I know that you actually have a gift for our listeners today as well. Would you take a moment and tell us exactly what it is that they can get from you?
They can contact me either via my website, or I think you'll put my telephone number out there, my email, and I'll be more than happy to schedule a personal coaching call with them.
Yes, go to loveknotslv.com, and that's where you can sign up for a personal coaching call. Definitely want to encourage you to do that. Maria's got tremendous advice. Obviously, she's extraordinarily personable, and if you just go to her Contact Us page, there's a place for you to sign up and do that. We definitely want to encourage you to do that. If you're looking for love, or if you've already found love and still in love, or if it's time for you to take the next step in dating, tremendous resource for sure. Maria, one last thing that I want to ask you about is, once someone has found someone that they've deeply connected with, and they've had a couple of amazing dates, how do they know it's time to kind of partner with that person and not continue the dating search?
Oh, that's a really good question because I've had that happen to me, and I know clients that have as well. You know what? When you feel that person that you met, you want to continue to explore and to see if it could be long term, you need to shut off all the other social media. I mean, how can you be trolling along, dating other people if you really want to move forward to that second phase of your relationship? And that's something you can share with them and talk to that other person about. But you know what? If they're not on the same page as you, they might not be the right person for you, or they might need the time to think about it as well.
Fantastic advice. Maria, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you here today. We just really want to thank you for bringing not just a lot of great information, but bringing a lot of wonderful personalities, great stories as well. And if you're thinking about dating, do reach out to her. Again, loveknotslv.com. Maria, you love to say be yourself, love yourself, rock yourself, and we want to encourage you to do the same thing. If you're listening today, be yourself, love yourself, rock yourself. If you'd love to listen to some past episodes of the Imagine More Success radio show, do go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can hear those, as well as put in your own questions for our upcoming guests who are listed there as well. And we do also want to let you know that we have an amazing series of courses to help you propel yourself forward to find more success in your life at findhiddenmoney.com, which is a hybrid course taught by Cindy and myself, where right now we're focusing on a goal for it course, which is helping you to define and to achieve the goals that are most important to you in your life. We want to thank you for joining us this week, and we want to invite you to not just to imagine more success, but to realize the dreams of your life and to have a wonderful week. Do come back and listen to us next week on the Imagine More Success radio show.
Path Home Shamanic Art School proudly presents the Gathering of Shaman 2019 Fall Retreat, Manifestation Samhain. Join me, Certified Shamanic Instructor Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magnificent Colorado Mountains this November 2nd and 3rd for a life-changing event. Participate in unique teachings and ceremonies that'll put the power and magic of shamanic manifestation into your hands. Sit in circle with like-minded individuals, sharing group energy and the power it generates. Classes will be held in a facility next to the beautiful, majestic Arkansas River, further empowering the experience. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today. For more information, visit findyourpathhome.com or email touchin@findyourpathhome.com.
With a passion for divination, Cooch Daniels, lifelong professional reader and author, invites you on a mystical journey on the Mystics, Oracles, and Divination radio show. During her time with you, you'll meet visionaries, readers, energy lightworkers, and healers who work with the tarot and other oracles. As a psychic guide, Cooch Daniels will be seeking to discover both New Age and traditional methods to deepen your mutual understanding of how you can further awaken your intuition and abilities to work with your divinatory channels. Cooch will end each hour of her show answering your questions and a meditative contemplation for prosperity, well-being, and good fortune. Join Cooch Daniels and her guests on the Mystics, Oracles, and Divination radio show at www.xzbn.net, and you can always email Cooch at mysticarts4you@yahoo.com. That's MYSTICARTS, the number 4, @yahoo.com.